tip of the day, listen to what you want to listen to when it comes to dog training, but only pay attention to what makes sense. Now, what makes sense to you may not make sense to me. What makes sense to another dog trainer may not make sense to me. Saying that to say this, I commented on a post the other day a guy made about the KMPV dogs, how they run in and they jump in the guy's chest, center mass. And there was a comment made by a guy, I think he's a trainer in West Virginia. I can't remember, Matt maybe or something like that. He made the statement and corrected the guy saying that is only done at those distances at trial day. In training, it's at a shorter distance, so the impact isn't as much. Now, the statement that the guy made, Larry Broadnex, I think it was, that there's no way possible that dogs can endure that kind of impact over time. He made the statement that 2 to 3 years the dogs are done, without knowing that at a shorter distance they can. I had a KMPV title dog. His score was 434, I think, and a Metloff score, which means it was with honors because he scored so high. He trained, and those guys overseas trained consistently 5, 6, 7 days a week for years. Those dogs, and what a lot of people may not know, a KMPV dog has to train or can't trial until they're at least 2 years old. Last time I checked, at least 2 years of training before they are even accepted to go and trial the dog. So to make statements that ties into kind of this thing of listening to some of these people talk and take what you can use, and some of the statements some of these people making or without any weight behind them. So KMPV dogs are definitely hard, strong dogs. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, just like every sport. There are some that just barely make it, and then you have some that excel in it. The one I had excelled in it. He didn't trial until he was 5 years old. I don't know why the guy that trained him waited until he was 5 years old. Maybe he just thought he wasn't ready. Maybe he was too ready, and he had to make sure that some of the behaviors that are asked in that trial was spot on before he went and trialed him. That can be because the dog is just so wired up. He may be antsy at certain times doing certain exercises, and the guy wanted to make sure everything was rock solid before he took him to the field. Now, that dog died at my place. He was, I think, 7 when I got him, and he died at 9 years old. And it wasn't no physical ailments that he had with all that hard training that he has. So I'm not saying that the guy just didn't know what he was talking about. I'm saying maybe he just wasn't as knowledgeable about that particular thing as he did. He's just making an assumption. So the other guy, Brandon Edmonds, also known as Hecker, he made a statement that the dogs in PSA and some of the other sports, when they swing with those, when the dog comes in for the bite, it's more theatrics than safety. Well, it could be a little bit of both. But I can tell you this, the decoys that decoy the KMPV trials, those guys know how to take those bites where the dogs don't get hurt. They've been doing it for years and years and years before they can even go to be a decoy for those trials for the KMPV championships or the nationals, whichever. The decoys in PSA can get certified, I think, now this is just me without asking one of them, within a couple of maybe weekend sessions, a decoy camp, they can get certified as a decoy. In KMPV, you can't do that. It takes years of learning and training to be certified as a decoy in KMPV. So, just some of the statements that are made with dog training, dog breeding, how tough dogs need to be, what dogs can handle. If you're not training like this, then your dog isn't a real personal protection dog. I get tired of hearing that bullshit. The best dog that can be termed for personal protection can be a mutt. If it makes that bad guy changes his mind, that's a personal protection dog. It made the bad guy change his mind. Best dog in the world, I guarantee you. If it has happened to somebody where they had a dog that wasn't trained, but it made the bad guy change his mind, I guarantee you they consider that dog priceless. No training, it's priceless. Now, if they push the issue, will that dog defend them? Who knows? Maybe he will, maybe he won't. The dog that a lot of these guys train, maybe they will, maybe they won't. Don't know. But to keep hearing these statements made where these guys are saying this shit is just ridiculous, man. Oh, if you can pick the dog up, if you're not putting your hands on that dog, then he's not a real personal protection dog. Well, if you got a 100-pound dog, an 80-pound dog biting the guy, and he still has the strength to fight that dog like that, then maybe your dog is a piece of shit. I'm not picking out anybody specifically, but I'm just telling you, if a dog that has any kind of oomph in him and any kind of size and he's biting the guy and that guy has the strength still to fight him like these guys are saying, then maybe your dog isn't what you think he is. Just my opinion, just my observation of all the years I've been doing this. All the cops I talk to, I ask them how many guys have presented an arm to say, here dog, bite this sweet spot. None. Most of those guys, dogs that make those bites like that, on the sport field where they give them an option to bite, he'll take this, and most guys on the street or training in some of these guys where they have big groups where they can rotate decoys and they can train with a lot of people, because you have equipment on, you can do these different variations of bites because you're not feeling the pain when it's there. All we can do is prepare the dog, hope that when the dog, and think with the best intentions, when it's time and the shit hits the fan, the dog's going to take care of business, because you don't know. You can have a damn good idea, but you don't know. Just my opinion. Saying that the dog won't fight once he's been trained enough, you use enough frustration in him. Some dogs still don't engage when it's time to engage. If back to the biting thing and these guys with the theatrics where they throw the dog over their shoulder, pin the dog up on the wall. When will you ever do that and the dog is actually biting you without a suit on? Never. It's not going to happen. What a lot of these guys are asking these dogs to do, they're not willing to do. You tell one of them guys to just go walk up and punch Mims in the face. You tell 10 of them to do it, maybe 1 or 2 may do it. And the 2 that do it, they better know what they're doing, because there's some shit coming behind it, I promise you. So a lot of these guys live vicariously through their dogs, and they ask the dogs to do things that just aren't going to happen. And that shit looks good on video. It looks good throwing the dog up against the wall. Now, a dog going through stuff to get to somebody, going through glass or going through obstacles and stuff like that. Shit, I can get a 3-month-old pup to do that, But to actually put his teeth on somebody when it counts, that makes the difference. I'm not going to force a dog to do it. I want my dog to want to do it just out the gate, out the door. I want a dog that knows I can do it, I want to do it, I enjoy doing it. And that dog is different. You can tell those dogs. You can, if you know what you're looking at, you can evaluate those dogs and you can pick those traits out real early on that type of dog that wants to naturally bite. I can look at a dog and tell you if he's been forced to bite or he's been made to bite, if that dog actually wants to bite you. The dog that wants to bite you and that enjoys biting, that's the dog that's going to do a lot of damage. The dog that you've made bite, that you have to force them to bite, that's not a dog that's not going to do a lot of damage, in my opinion. Now, let me say this about the dog. There was a statement made, I think, in that conversation as well, about dogs that bite with the front of their teeth, the frontal bites. those are actually the bites that do the most damage if you think about it. Because if they put those 4 teeth in you and you're able to just fling that dog off you, can you imagine what your arm will look like when that happens? And if it happens multiple times, if you can throw that dog off you multiple times, how much damage is being done? Man, I've seen pictures of that stuff happening, where guys, dogs that bite frontal bites, and the damage that they do, man. That is a nasty sight. When they go to the emergency room, doctor don't know where to start working at because its arm is so mangled up, or the dog's leg is so mangled, they just don't know where to start when that happens. So some of the stuff that goes on in this dog world, man, is the biggest lies and misconceptions, and these guys living through their dreams, going on what they hear, what they heard other people talk. They're just regurgitating statements that they have no proof on. A lot of these guys have no knowledge on. When you talk to them, you ask them, and these guys go to back crabbing up and crawfishing back and say, oh, wait a minute, and then they go into depth trying to explain it more. And then all they're doing to me and people like myself that's been doing this stuff for many, many, many years, with the amount of experience and the kind of experience we have, you hear them just digging themselves in the hole deeper and deeper and deeper, because we know they're talking, just repeating what they heard. They're not talking from experience. So just, when you watch these videos and you're starting to learn things and you're hearing stuff from different people, just take that stuff, man, and use what you can use. The rest of it, get rid of it. Try to seek people out that have the knowledge. You can tell because a very well-rounded dog trainer can speak on various subjects in deep conversations about it, and have deep conversations about it. Vast knowledge of it. Some of these guys, you talk to them and they give you just the outskirts of what you need to know, and that's it. Eventually, if you stay in this stuff long enough, you'll learn to recognize when these guys are just repeating stuff and not talking from knowledge. So that's my tip for the day. Just be aware of some of this shit that goes on in this dog world, man. Just some of these guys are just living through their dog, and they're coming up with all these fantasies and the theatrics of training. The simple stuff, the basic stuff is what will last, and what has lasted all these years already, and that will last 50 years from now. All that dog walking between your legs, when will that ever happen? I haven't saw a SWAT team or that does that stuff nowhere. Probably never will. When it's not useful, it's not practical. It just doesn't happen. You got a dog between your legs. To me, that's some freaky shit, man. Just calling a dog into a heel all up in your crotch area. You get your freaky ass out of here with that shit, man. That's my opinion on that stuff. The everyday average person, whether it's just for obedience or protection, don't need all those theatrics. Take care of business well, and be done with it. All this other bullshit that these guys are pumping out, man, just gets to be irritating. And sometimes I try to control myself on saying things, and I can't, because it's all bullshit. So if you need some kind of consultation, some help on some stuff, my number is 225-200-9162. If you need some help in your area, I'm connected with a lot of people, but it's only a few people that I will recommend to help people out. Give me a call. I've gotten a call in the last 2 weeks from a guy from Quebec, Canada. That's way up into Canada. Saw us on the podcast, NWA Corsos. Reached out to me to get some help and some information, and I'm helping him out. Got him going in the right way. Got a guy out in San Diego that I'm helping out, and some other places. I had a couple of trainers that reached out. They need a little more info. Glad to help. Glad that I can be some kind of source for you guys, to help you out, to see clear through some of this shit that these guys are putting out. So if you need help, give me a call up. John Mims at 225-200-9162. I'm on Instagram at K9 Mims. I'm on TikTok at John Mims, JOHNMIMS. So give me a call, K9 Mims. Thanks.